must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Very good morning to you. A few minutes past 11 a.m. here in Nairobi. My name is Miriam Mugutu. The show is The People's Court, and of course, the station is Punchline Africa, a TV based here in the headquarters here in Nairobi. So thank you so much for finding time to be with us. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're tuned in today. Our topic of discussion right now is what we saw happen yesterday there in Parliament, where Parliament now is pushing to amend some of the sections of the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020, otherwise known as the BBI. And as we all know, according to the law, they're not allowed to do that, but they're kind of looking for a leeway to see if they can do that. So that will form a basis of our conversation, and I'll bring us up to date with what happened in Parliament yesterday. So to help me out in this conversation, I do have Musa Abdi Haji from Isiolo County. Musa, very good morning to you. Okay, so as Musa there is setting up, we do have Douglas Kirimi. Douglas, a very good morning. Very well. Karanja, are you there?
Thank you, Miriam. Good morning or good afternoon to our viewers wherever they are watching us from. And a good morning to my fellow panelists, Tawish, Professor Douglas, and Musa. Thanks for having me on the show.
Mm-hmm. And we also do have Professor Jared Onyari. Professor, very good morning to you. Okay, they're joining soon. And Samuel Tawish, who has just joined us right now. Samuel, a very good morning to you.
Good morning, Miriam, and the rest of the panelists. Glad to join you on this program this morning.
Okay, it's a pleasure to have you. So I'll be looking at the Star newspaper, page 4 and 5, where that story is carried out. And under the Star newspaper, they're saying Uhuru fresh headache as MPs push for to amend BBI bill. And on the Standard newspaper, page 12, there, and it says uproar as team asks for more time to present BBI bill report. So let me just read from the Standard first and see what how they've carried out the story. Fears of attempts to derail constitutional review emerged yesterday after the Joint Committee compiling a report on the Building Bridges Initiative requested more time to present the document. The Joint Committee of the Senate and National Assembly Justice and Legal Affairs was scheduled to table the report on public participation on the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 yesterday. The team, however, asked leave to engage constitutional experts to make the bill coherent and fully constitutional, kicking up a storm in the House. A chairperson of the joint team, Muturi Kigano, ignited debate on the role the House will play in the law change initiative. Old suspicions about attempts to scuttle the handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga also surfaced amid talk of boardroom jostling and disagreements over the stand the committee will adopt. So that is where we are starting our conversation this morning. And let me just take us from a place that I've read, that the team, however, asked leave to engage constitutional experts to make the bill coherent and fully constitutional, kicking up a storm in the House. The fact that the team in the House felt they should go, consult with constitutional experts. Tawish, do they have that right?
Thanks so much, Miriam, my fellow panelists, and of course the rest of the viewers who are watching us. We've woken up to this news this morning. Of course, I was watching yesterday on television when Kenya's lawmakers were debating as to whether this bill has to be tabled in Parliament yesterday or not. Remember, they've had virtually, I think, almost 2 weeks to carry out public participation and try to see how they can harmonize this bill before it is tabled to the National Assembly and the Senate. before now we can head to the referendum. Of course, we understand this has been quite a very long and tedious process of constituting the BBI team. You remember the task force team that actually came up with a 9-point agenda and moving around the country for over 2 years trying to collect views from Kenyans. They harmonized that into a bill. We had, another process after it was actually received by President Uhuru Kenyatta and Honorable Raila Odinga. It was called rather famed as validation exercise. So now that the bill was taken, of course, to the IEBC for signature collection, they did their part. Of course, the Kenyans did their part by actually appending their signatures to this particular bill. And that in the hope that once the bill has been, actually the signatures have been appended to, then the only way out will be the county assemblies to present the bill to the National Assembly and the Senate for it now to be approved back for, to pave way rather for a referendum. But now what we are having, Miriam, in this country is that, there are procedural processes that we have to go through. For example, once the bill of such nature has been brought to Parliament, it goes through the JLAC, that is Justice and Legal Affairs Committees of both National Assembly and the Senate. But to my surprise yesterday, I saw the members of this particular committee actually giving excuses and reasons as to why they have not prepared a report yet this far. It's unfortunate that when we have, lawyers of distinguished career, people who have been lawyers in this country, some of them senior counsels who have been serving in this country as lawyers for over 20 years, 25 years, and some of them actually even sat in the previous constitution-making processes, the likes of Otienda Amolo MP for Rarieda, who sits in that particular committee. I believe he must be even the deputy chair of JLAC in National Assembly. You have Senator James Orengo, Okongo Omogeni, and others actually, they have participated in similar processes even before. So when they give a reason that probably there are some sticky issues that they have to go back to the people to try and harmonize the views by other stakeholders, it leaves Kenyans wondering as to which kind of public participation do they want to carry out again. Because the train has already left the station. We actually beyond public participation per se, because Kenyans already gave their views. When the IEBC took this bill to the county assemblies to collect signatures, it was basically, Miriam, it was basically to confirm from Kenyans that they have agreed with this particular bill. So if you tell Kenyans today you want to harmonize or make some changes or amendments to this bill, then you're trying to tell Kenyans that we are going to take us again to the drawing board in as far as this bill is concerned. Because as it is now, the Kenyans who went out and appended their signatures, they appended that signature on the basis of the bill that we have today. So if you're telling us you want to make some amendments or changes, it means then we have to go back again to IEBC to do a fresh collection of signatures. So basically, it is uncalled for the JLAC to call for more time. Of course, I saw reservations that they were trying to raise yesterday. They don't bear any water. They don't bear any ground per se. They should just go ahead. And now that the speaker has given them 10 days to do that, I hope they will have enough time to harmonize this bill and present it as it is to the National Assembly. Theirs is just to rubber stamp and allow Kenyans to go to a referendum. I don't think it is time for them to create frustrations, to create roadblocks towards a referendum that Kenyans are actually waiting with a desired breath.
Okay. Thank you so much, Samuel Tawish. Now, the committee, Kigano co-chairs with Nyamira Senator Okongo Omogeni, collected views from 65 groups and individuals over 3 days last week and was expected to table the report yesterday as the bill underwent a second reading. But that did not happen. Instead, Kigano said there were critical issues raised which could not be overlooked and which needed experts to guide the committee on. The Joint Committee chairperson did not, however, give a timeline of when the report will be ready. And we know at this point, time is quite sensitive here because there's already a drawn-out schedule on how the date at which, this referendum was expected to happen. And now they've not even given a timeline as to when they hope that this report will be ready in Parliament for the second reading. Javen.
Thank you very much, Miriam, for that. And yesterday, as I was watching what was happening in the floor of the House, the Parliament National Assembly, it is quite worrying, Miriam, that our members of Parliament they want to sabotage a process that seeks to bring a redemption strategy, that seeks to heal, to bring a remedy to all things that have been sickening this country in terms of divisive elections, in terms of the fight against corruption, in terms of national ethos, and in terms of inclusion and equity when it comes to the sharing of national resources. The members of parliament, the people who constitute the legal and affairs committee, Miriam, most of them are lawyers, and I think a number of them are lawyers. Which other constitutional experts do they want to seek? Because to them, their senior counsels, the likes of Otiende Amolo, the likes of James Orengo and others, all these members of Senate and National Assembly, they are lawyers of reputable knowledge when it comes to the legal field. Therefore, they are the experts that we need. Therefore, this drill, Miriam, maybe they want to take this process, maybe to ask to make some demands to the government. Maybe they want to be given some money or they want to make some demands or to get some allowances so that they can debate this bill. But Miriam, it's so unfortunate that our members of parliament, they can scoop that law, and we expected them to debate, Miriam, and where maybe Kenyans, we expected a lot of resistance and a lot of hesitation when it comes to the bill was in the county assemblies. But Miriam, to our surprise, the county assembly, they have done an excellent job. They have given Kenyans a chance to go and to make their will at the referendum, because we know when we had the Puguza Mizigo initiative, Kenyans were not given a chance to go or have an interaction with the document because it was shut down at the county assemblies. Now the members of county assembly has given us a light, an opportunity to have one-on-one interaction, one-on-one debate and a discourse with this document. Therefore, the members of parliament should move in speed and discuss this document, this bill. But Miriam, they are talking of participation, public participation. What were we doing when we went for the validation process? When we had the BBI task force, the steering committee, we are doing all these things to ensure that the public participates, the public presents its recommendation. So Miriam, where we are, Miriam, I see that Kenyans should be given an opportunity at the referendum to reject or to pass the bill without any interference from our parliamentarians, Miriam. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Musa, the fact that the Joint Committee was not very keen in giving a timeline when the report will be ready, there has been accusations of perhaps delay tactics and something else also Doctor brought up earlier there of manipulation there. What do you think is playing out here in Parliament? Musa?
Thank you so much, Miriam. And you've asked me whether it's, what is really playing out in the August House. And the answer is very simple, Miriam. The leaders we've elected, when you critique, when you try to study their sense of personality and what they do, and the kind of bills passed, Miriam, you tend to see a lot of frustration and a lot of, lagging and a lot of stagnation, Miriam, as far as the National Parliament, National Assembly is concerned. Not the first time in 2021, not the first time in 2017, not the first time in 2013. It has been happening, Miriam. And these parliamentarians, they have been given adequate staff. Usually they are given a research team and a personal assistant, to help them in reorganization of all these. Even apart from that, Miriam, now coming to the committee, I know they are the legislators. They are the ones who decide which, bills will go to, to the parliament in terms of, passing some institutional bills like, help the 4 years, grace period for the university students who are yet to get employment. I know those ones are more institutional, Miriam. But there are ones I know, and their decisions are justified. What is not justified is their timing, Miriam. Their decisions to come in and bring an amendment and give the face it needs to the document is really justified. It's fine. But the question we should be asking ourselves here is that whether this document is going the same way as Naivasha document did, Miriam. Remember what happened in Naivasha?
According to the Constitution of Kenya, that document cannot be amended in Parliament. So they're looking for a leeway to do it. So it's not in line with the Constitution. So we have to make that clear.
Now, Miriam, yeah, I agree with you. It is not in line with the Constitution. But now, since they have that legislative arm, in the Constitution and, in the National Assembly, they can have that, let's say a kind of an input. Let's say not amendment, but a kind of the leeway they are pushing for. But what I will not agree to this is that, Miriam, the timing of this stuff, I think they should have come in handy when the document was just draft, when the document was just in pieces, Miriam, when they were trying to bring things together from all sides, Miriam. But now when all the things are ready, the county assemblies have passed it, and, even to make it more sarcastic, I don't know, sarcastic or ironical, Miriam, the past bill was brought to the Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi. So already that shows you, I know some decorum and some understanding has been established that indeed the document is intact and the document is good. So there is that harmony. But what I see, let me be direct here. Dr. Matsanga and Professor Onyari said one thing. Those whom you expected shall never oppose the document are the ones who are now having reservations. I add mine. Those whom you thought are in Tanga or are opposing the document, don't be shocked. They are the ones who shall be coming out to support this document. It's how politics work. Even 24 hours in politics, Miriam, is a lot. So the timing is really ill-timed as far as this is concerned. Because remember, there are a lot of sensitive issues, Miriam, which is beyond the scope of the Parliament. That is the issue of boundary allocation of constituencies by IEBC. Look at the issue of budgeting of this referendum and even the 2022 election, Miriam. It's something which is beyond, the National Assembly. So for me, I think instead of them causing chaos, let the committee handle this stuff, in a very candid manner. Let it be, harmonized if they really want to harmonize it. I know amending it is not constitutional. It is not going to be allowed. But if there is an harmonization, they can put it in a way that now, not amending it, but now allocating the roles, Miriam, designating the roles. If it is institutional based, policy passing like the ones for HELB, I keep on referring to it, or the one for, public referendum, like the one of addition of this, political post. I think it is up to them to decide on how the discourse of this, the whole bill should go. But now taking time, stagnating, someone trying to show their sides, whether someone is partisan or not, I think it is uncalled for, Miriam.
Okay. Very well. Thank you so much. Now, the expert's role, I'm reading from page 12 of the Standard newspaper, which has carried out what happened yesterday in Parliament. The expert's role will be to advise on the thematic areas that the committee identified, or other issues that they may pick out. The team of experts, the experts that now the committee wants to go look for, right? The team of experts is to further analyze the bill and the important issues. We're therefore asking for more time to comprehensively consider the bill and table the report soon. That is what Kigano said. That is Kangema, a member of Parliament, Mr. Muturi Kigano. But MPs questioned the motive the committee had by requesting for more time. A Suba member of Parliament, Junet Mohammed, questioned why the committee needed other experts to inspect a bill that already had the input of constitutional experts. This committee is claiming they have formed a subcommittee to go and look for experts, forgetting that this is a bill through a popular initiative. The promoters had engaged experts at length for 2 years, Junet said. When you hear what they are looking for a committee, when you hear that they're looking for a committee of experts to advise them on the constitutionality and the legality of the bill, then we have we have taken a very dangerous path pertaining to the bill, the MP said, asking Speaker Justin Muturi to use his power and force the committee to table the report. Douglas.
Miriam, one thing we need to understand from these our MPs is that they are hypocritical and they are not doing the right thing. Miriam, at a point when Kenya is being ravaged by COVID-19, the poor people in this nation who sent these MPs to Parliament are dying. These MPs are looking for loopholes to be able to get an access to the BBI Rajis so that they can continue their selfish tendencies and also their greed. Miriam, as our MPs propagate greed and fueling conflict in the National Assembly as far as the BBI process is concerned, these MPs and all the time in the world to do that. What they are trying to do is an illegality, Miriam, and it is not going to sail through. And Miriam, we need to be able to separate issues. We need to separate what the MPs want today and what the people of Kenya want. The people of Kenya are supreme, and they have decided this thing has to go to the referendum the way it is. Like Musa was saying about harmonization, there is nothing that should be harmonized when the experts have already given their opinion and it is captured therein, and also the aspirations and the views of the people of Kenya are in that document. What our MPs are doing, Miriam, is just the pseudo activities that they continue propagating in the National Assembly that do not promote the good of this nation, Miriam. These MPs are known to be one when they are propagating for their own selfish and ambitions and also selfish gains, and Miriam, and also propagating their greed in National Assembly. There is no kiereweke, there is no tangatanga, there is no opposition in Parliament when they want to pass something that is going to be very beneficial to all of them, Miriam. At the end of the day, these MPs know that their role is very ceremonial as far as this document is concerned. All the issues they are raising, Miriam, are time bad, and also they cannot be able to do what they want to do at this point, Miriam. What we are seeing today is a cabal of leaders in National Assembly who want to curtail the BBI process and also make sure that it fails, Miriam. These are the same tendencies that we have seen over 2 years now. People have tried going to court, people have tried to shouting in rallies, people have tried everything. And the last battle for the BBI process or the BBI Bill 2020 is in the National Assembly, Miriam. This is where they break it or make it, Miriam. Because at the end of the day, what explains why all of a sudden they are even forming committees, they are correcting views, they are doing all manner of things, Miriam. This is a cabal of leaders that should be exposed. This is a cabal of leaders who owed no interest of Kenyans at that, Miriam. The same people that Jevan spoke about. People went to National Assembly and received 10,000 shillings to shoot down the Mercury Sugar report scandal. And also, Miriam, people who can be bought at whim and a qualm of a politician, people who can be bought to shout at each other in rallies, people who can be bought to besmirch the BBI report that they have not read themselves. Miriam, this is a cabal of leaders that is sitting in National Assembly today to be able to drill this process, and there is no justification for the MPs and members of National Assembly today to purport to have the best interest of the people of Kenya directly, and also trying their pseudo activities in the National Assembly, Miriam. This cabal of leaders should be stopped, and the people of Kenya supreme, Miriam. They have decided to exercise this power that they have. They have sent their MPs to National Assembly. They have decided not to take that power to the MPs. They should have sent them long time ago before we went to the popular way. This popular initiative shall be decided, the fate of the popular initiative shall be decided by the people of Kenya, for the people of Kenya, by themselves, Miriam. Because at the end of the day, if we really wanted our MPs to be able to effect these changes, most of them can be effected in National Assembly. We could have sent them, we could have sent the bills to National Assembly, but President Uhuru Kenyatta himself said, citing the point, the division of revenue formula that was sent to the National Senate. When it was sent to Senate, they sat over 12 times, Miriam, 12 sittings without agreeing. People being bought at night, calling themselves One Kenya Movement, and all manner of shenanigans in the National Assembly and Senate, Miriam. So we cannot be able to trust our MPs at this point. This is a cabal of leaders who want to drill the BBI process. This is a cabal of leaders who want to continue their pseudo activities in the National Assembly for their own gain, to continue destroying and also to complete the destruction of the BBI process, so that the people of Kenya cannot have a say, so that the people of Kenya cannot effect this constitutional moment. I have no kind words for people in National Assembly, Miriam. This is a cabal of leaders bent to destroy the BBI process and also to continue fueling a conflict in this nation, Miriam. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary Otieno. Thank you so much for watching. Professor, this what we're seeing now playing out here in public, do you think these are the same, perhaps, people who are opposed to the handshake, who are having a hand, whose hand is at work right now?
Is it me, Miriam?
Yes, it's you, Professor. Go ahead.
Yeah, Miriam, VPI and the handshake is not an event. BBI, Miriam, it has been a process. We have walked every step, Miriam, diligently. Sometimes difficult. Sometimes we cannot agree. Sometimes instead of talking to one another, we have talked at each other. But fine, Miriam, we have the document here. Some of the members of parliament, what they should understand, Miriam, and Article 257 of the Kenyan Constitution, Miriam. The people who have got powers under this amendment of the Constitution under popular initiative, Miriam, it is the members of the County Assembly. If we could have not made the threshold of 24, half of the county, Miriam, you know the word, Miriam, that bill could have collapsed. So I will refer my honorable members of parliament. If I told they are honorable, but what they are doing, Miriam, I see the hearts of these honorable members and horrible members. Because an honorable member of parliament should be able to read the constitution, as Samuel was trying to give out, Miriam. What is expected from them, Miriam, is that the bill is before them. Either you reject it, you don't reject it, Miriam, the bill will find itself to the president, who will send it, Miriam, and forward it to IPC, to IPC, Miriam, for organizing for the referendum. So, Miriam, what you can see here, the committee, you know, when those committees of parliament, when they sit, do you know what happens, Miriam? They are paid, they are being paid sitting allowance. So the 10 days or so, or 14 days, Miriam, it is the allowances. But what I know, it is good sometimes, Miriam, we don't need to appear to be very dictatorial, so that we are dictating over to people. Miriam, I'm one man, you know, who say that let us work together. Let us have this channel to work together. Let us put reason first before we become unreasonable. What members of parliament are doing now, they are becoming unreasonable, Miriam. But I want to say that the speaker did the honorable thing. He has given them time, 10 days. Next Thursday, Miriam, they will be able to table this bill before the assembly. They debate it, and then, Miriam, when they debate it, will be brought to the people, Miriam. So, Miriam, I will still continue urging members of parliament. If anything happens to this country, it will not be safe. Neither are they going to they will be responsible. They are our leaders. We don't have any other leaders. And in fact, that's why we say, Miriam, that in the future, perhaps, if they have found that they are becoming conduit, where the bill passes without their input, Miriam, what stops them from, Miriam, moving a bill, moving a motion, coming out with ideas, Miriam? Even where were they when we were making this BBI, Miriam? They could have even suggested that we also need this one to be amended, so that in the future we don't appear like that. But the drafters of this constitution, Miriam, they were very careful. Because if we allow them, Miriam, to open it and put a comma, Miriam, you know, Miriam, again, it will be brought back to the people to see whether they agree. And it will be in cycles and in cycles and in cycles. What I know, even among the popular initiative of Miriam, members of parliament have also had an opportunity to say something about this constitution, this BBI draft bill. That's from where I see, that's why I look at it. They want, and if it is money they want, Miriam, there's a civil way you want that money, Miriam. Don't hold the country at ransom, because the redemption strategy is very difficult, Miriam, if you ignore it. We want to redeem our country as a stable country where we embrace democracy, Miriam, where we reconcile, where we say that, Miriam, we don't want to kill one another on the account of elections, where we want to fight corruption, Miriam, where we want to share prosperity for all of us, where everyone will want to see himself as a Kenyan, Miriam. And I do not understand how I wish, Miriam, that the speaker should consider giving me a day or so so that I can be able to educate these people for free. I will not charge them. And when you are talking about experts, Miriam, one day President Mwai Kibaki cracked a joke. Why do you need an expert, Miriam? This constitution we can give to Senator Orengo. Huh? Sit in a room and they will give us a constitution. That's how serious it is. So when you are talking about the experts and the Senator Orengo is there, what are you telling us? What we are trying to say as Miriam is that these are the Tanga people who have regrouped, and they are coming in all manner of things. You see how Ichunga was debating. He's saying there is no emergency. So we can even give them 6 months now. See that kind of thinking, Miriam? So that is my submission.
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor. So let's look at the issues that seem to have been dividing our members of parliament and how it played out there yesterday. And the Standard has outlined some of these issues. And the first one is in line with public participation. The importance of public participation in a popular initiative, the importance of public participation in a popular initiative, is there a point to it? The Constitution holds that public participation is a must. Courts have decreed that it has to be meaningful, not merely cosmetic, but can it be meaningful if the views obtained during public participation are not considered and permitted to influence a parliament's decision? As you've seen, I think was it last week, a parliament carried out public participation, but whatever opinion that was given there, and we saw about 65 groups coming in there and participating in this process, but whatever the outcome is not supposed to or cannot affect the bill already as it is. So they're arguing, is there a point to this public participation at this point? Samuel.
Miriam, in my considered opinion, Miriam, I think the members of parliament are just trying to take Kenyans in circles. This is a pure strategy to try and sabotage a process that seeks to bring about lasting peace in this country. And as Professor Nyari has rightly put it, is that the lawmakers we are having today could have been as well infiltrated by these very elements who are not actually satisfied with the entire handshake and the consequent BBI information of the task force and where we are today. Because again, if you tell Kenyans that you want to take them through again another public participation, it begs questions as to what were we doing initially when the task force was moving around asking people's views. In itself is public participation. I want to submit here, Miriam, that I had the privilege myself of appending a signature to this. To this bill, well knowing that the issues contained therein in that particular bill are the ones which I'm satisfied with, are the ones which I want to go through a referendum so that I can eventually have my say on the ballot in as far as that bill is concerned. So as when you come out today and tell people you want to take us through another public participation, you're merely creating excuses and reason as to why you want to derail this process. And it's unfortunate if we have those elements that maybe were against this bill or they were against BBI in the first place, could have infiltrated even the JLAC, because this JLAC is it comprises of over 20 lawmakers drawn from the Senate and National Assembly, and they're drawn from different political persuasions. So you cannot understand. Maybe there are some who are giving conditions, there are some who are giving ultimatums, there are some who are giving threats or intimidating and saying we cannot go wholesomely and decide on this bill unless we have this change or that change. It could as well be another strategy to see into it maybe how they can, because you remember last time Deputy President William Ruto and those who are mostly opposed to this bill in the first place were saying that we cannot have a harmonized bill going to the referendum as one question. Maybe there are also those people, those elements who have infiltrated this JLAC and who want maybe to derail this entire process. It's not really about public participation. It is not that there are any contentious issues, because if they are there in the first place, Kenyans will not have actually appended their signatures in that big number, resoundingly. And you can also clearly see how they went ahead and endorsed in the county assemblies. Over 40 county assemblies endorsed this bill as it is. So like Professor Nyari said, I want to repeat and affirm to you, Miriam, and to our audience, that it is nearly impossible that lawmakers can persuade us that they want more time to try and address some of the contentious issues, that they want to carry out another public participation, if not for the sake of maybe looking for some handouts or looking for more, they call it sitting allowance. Probably that is the reason why they want more time, or they want more time so that they can actually continually hold hostage the president or the people concerned, so that they can be given a few coins for them to endorse this process. But like Onyari has said, Professor Onyari has said, this bill has moved to a stage that we cannot reverse. This bill now being in the National Assembly, they have to pass or reject it, but again, it will still go to the president, because Kenyans have had their input in this bill. What they want is a referendum, and they want to decide the fate of this bill through a referendum. So it does not matter what the kind of sideshows the members of parliament, especially the jailer committee members, want to take us through. Eventually, this bill will get to Kenyans, and we will have a referendum. Whatever they want to do, let them do. If they want to get money from the president, if they want to get money or in form of sitting allowance from the Parliamentary Service Commission, whatever it is, whatever the case may be, the ultimate issue here is Kenyans are determined to have a referendum. So they should be doing this well knowing that we have no reverse gain as far as the quest for referendum, the quest for reforms, the quest for redemption strategy is concerned, Miriam, and that is where all our minds, all our heads, and all our focus and energy is actually driven towards to, Miriam.
Okay. Thank you so much. The issue of public participation, we've seen when a committee of experts was going around the country and the public went there and gave their opinion. We saw after that the first report was launched, and then the public had to go again and give their opinion. So the committee of experts had to go again and include some of these things that the Kenyans had said perhaps were not captured very well, and perhaps things like that. And we saw that led to the bill, to the PBI report being launched the second time last year there in November. And then we saw it go through the counties where there was a lot of public participation. Matter of fact, in a county like Kericho, it is through public participation that the public told them, look here, you have to pass this bill because we stand to gain more as a people. So put your political whatever aside and go ahead and pass this bill. The public compelled, the MCs there to pass this bill, and we've seen that play out. So now in public, in Parliament again, we see a public participation, and a lot of these groups I saw, they are the same groups that also took their opinion to the committee of experts. So this public participation, perhaps, where does it stop, Douglas?
Sorry, Miriam, maybe before Douglas just comes in, there's a burning point here I just wanted to make in about 1 minute, please, if you allow me the latitude. Okay. It's about this question of this public participation and why Kenyans really endorse this bill as it is. Because when I went to append my signature to this bill, when it got to the level of collection of signatures, I knew very well that we are going to have additional 70 constituencies. I knew very well that we are going to have a post of prime minister and 2 deputy prime ministers. I knew very well that we are going to move from a presidential system of governance to a parliamentary one. I knew very well that we are going to have some of the ministers being appointed from the National Assembly or from the Parliament. I knew very well that we are going to have increased funding to the counties from 15 that we have currently minimum to 35. I knew very well that we are going to have 100 million, that is World Development Fund. I knew very well of all these issues that were there. That is why I was convinced and persuaded to append my signatures. That is why the county assemblies unanimously voted for this bill at the county assemblies. So if you tell us you want to carry out public participation now, it means therefore there are people who are holding contrary view to maybe what Kenyans have decided this far. That maybe they do not want the 70 new constituencies, that maybe they do not want this 100 million World Development Fund per financial year to go to the wards. Maybe they do not want the creation of a prime minister post and 2 deputies or a parliamentary system of governance and much more of other issues that are actually contained therein in that bill. So what are we trying to say? Are we trying to say that we want to accommodate now? We want to reverse and go back and accommodate everyone's view? As it is now, I did my part, knowing very well that all these issues are contained in that bill. That is why Kenyans, myself included, were persuaded to append my signatures and the county assemblies going ahead and approving that bill. So it will be, unfortunate, it will be hypocritical for members of parliament, especially the JLAC, to say that they want to carry out extra public participation to collect more views. It does not matter. it doesn't bear any water as it is now. We have to move forward, Miriam, and I think that is what I wanted to register.
Thank you. So Douglas, which public participation should matter now at this point? The one before the bill was appended, or what you're seeing right now play out in Parliament?
Some challenges.
Go ahead.
Miriam, I have said that these are pseudo activities that are being allowed by members of National Assembly to continue their greed and to continue their selfish gains and also propagating their greed. Miriam, when public participation in this country, and we need to redefine what is public participation as encompassed in our constitution, and also do a lot of civic education to our people in terms of civic education, in terms of public participation. For example, if a county assembly today does an MCA, the office of the MCA does a public participation on how they shall use their funds in the next financial year. What they do, people come together and give their views, and not 100% of these people come out. Out of 10, if 6 people or 7 people come, that is deemed to be the majority, according to that kind of a sampling. If out of 20, 10 people came, that is the majority that came for that public participation. But what we are seeing today is members of National Assembly, our MPs, people that we send to represent us indirectly, and these people who have now turned to be people who are very biased and people who are very blind to the fact that we need a public participation in this country, Miriam. There is public participation that was done across the nation and also electronically. People are allowed to write emails, people are allowed to send their emails on what they want and trust in the BBI report. But what we are seeing today is a cabal of leaders in the National Assembly who are talking about public participation when we are under public participation in every county in this country, Miriam. This public participation that happened across the nation, we want the views of over 47 counties in this nation that were captured before. That is the varied public participation that we can be able to call out. And even if National Assembly today went for a public participation, Miriam, there are people like Tawish is saying, there are people who will not agree with every provision that the people will give again. And also, Miriam, it will take us almost a year again to continue moving around, correcting these views, and also having the input of experts, and also harmonizing this document and sending it back to the people again. Like I've said, Miriam, this is very sinister, this is very funny, and why are these people coming out today? They had all the time when this public participation was going on. They had all the time in the world to come out and tell Kenyans that we need to do public participation as sponsored or also as encompassed by the National Assembly of the Republic of Kenya. But why didn't they do that? They have started for 2 years. They have woken now. What is this word of magic they are coming to wave across Kenya to allow this public participation to continue and also bear good fruits than it has now? Miriam, what we are asking members of National Assembly as the people of the Republic of Kenya is that as our representatives, they should stop mutilating and they should also stop destroying the BBI report that the people of Kenya gave their views. These views did not come from William Ruto. They did not come from Raila Odinga. They came from the people of Kenya, Miriam.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And the next issue that was dividing Parliament yesterday, to amend or not to amend the standoff concerning Article 257 on role of Parliament to amend referendum bill. One view holds that Parliament may amend the bill to correct typographical errors to secure that the provisions of the bill do not conflict, and to ensure that the provisions of the bill are in harmony with the unamended provisions of the Constitution. Typographical errors too, hakuna kubadilisha what is in there. The other view holds that Parliament cannot amend a bill to amend the Constitution by popular initiative. Others feel that Parliament is, in considering the bill, cannot amend such obvious errors would contradict the roles of Parliament under Article 94 of the Constitution. Jevan, I don't know if you understand what I just read there. How do you understand that?
Thank you, Miriam. I really understand.
Okay, go
And
ahead.
before I come to that, Miriam, give me a space to
Public participation.
major on something that
Yes.
you have asked earlier
You want
about
the
public
okay.
participation.
Go ahead. Go
The
ahead.
main reason why we go for this public participation is to clear doubt, is to go and present what we feel as Kenyans need to be carried on. Therefore, nobody should despise or belittle the participation that Kenya put in place, the input of Kenyans towards the BBI process. Therefore, they should not feel like Kenyans did not participate. In fact, if the Kenyans who are making the outcry that they didn't participate, it could be making some sense. But when members of parliament, and I saw even the Legal Affairs Committee presenting their proposals when the BBI steering committee was in KICC. Therefore, at the end of the day, every Kenyan was given a space to go and to present their case, to go to present their memorandum, their recommendation, their proposals to the BBI steering committee for validation and so on. Therefore, Kenyans have participated quite well, and not only through the steering committee, but through the major media, the radio and television, Miriam. We have, in the programs, in our local radio stations, we had programs where people were taken one-on-one on what BBI is. Experts were brought in radios and television to explain to Kenyans on what this BBI is. To me, that I take as part of public participation, because you're given a chance to make a comment, to ask questions. That is participation, and Kenyans have really participated fully in this process. Miriam, now on the question at hand, the issue of the typographical errors and so on, I believe that the people who are doing the process, Miriam, if the members of parliament today start going to amend the typographical errors, punctuation marks and so on, we'll end up with an altered document that will not be the original document that Kenyans presented their views. So I don't think it is a part of the members of parliament to go and correct errors. This document, Miriam, when it was put in writing, there were expertise, there were editors, there were communication experts and so on, people who know when to write this and the punctuation and so on. And Miriam, the point is, the draft, Miriam, they are gone through by experts to ensure that there are no typographical errors. Therefore, at the end of the day, when we have the final document, Miriam, it will be a clean document like the Constitution, like the Bible, without typographical error, because people sit down and they put a lot of resources to ensure that they have a document that is clear and it can be understood by all Kenyans. Therefore, these members of parliament, Miriam, they want to take us around in circles and so on, so that they buy time, Miriam. I feel like in one way or the other, the people and those guys who had an agenda, who had a reservation with BBI, they have inflated the process, and that is why we see all these kind of excuses being done, Miriam. And for what I understand, if we hit August, Miriam, the second week of August, Miriam, without the referendum, Miriam, we will wait until we go for a general election so that we can talk about matters referendum. That is why, Miriam, the members of parliament who subscribed to the Tanga agenda, they were making a lot of claims that we can wait. There's no hurry. We are not there's no emergency. Miriam, if we have that kind of rhetoric, these are people who knows very well they are buying time, and we'll be behind time. And when we do that, Miriam, this noble process of BBI, this good document, this good process to unite, to heal this country, will be done away with, Miriam, and we'll be left with our challenges. We'll continue with our own old ways that have been caused the suffering to the Kenyans. Therefore, it's high time that the members of parliament, they do their justice. They are paid, Miriam, to legislate, Miriam. I don't know why today they are coming out as if we are adding them new roles, Miriam. We have seen them fail in various occasions to debate on issues that benefit the common wananchi. But when it's an issue about altering the salary and the remuneration commission, they go there full numbers, full capacity to ensure that they add some allowances on their side. But when it comes to issues that benefit the wananchi, they want to take us around, Miriam. And if it's about getting some money, Miriam, let us not make the BBI process as a cash cow, that so that in order such that if you want to pass the document, you'll be given some allowances, you'll be given some coins, Miriam. What will happen to ordinary Kenyans who don't hold these prestigious positions in this country, like the ordinary Kenyans, ordinary citizen? Who will they demand from? Where will they make their demands to? Let us not make the BBI process as a cash cow, that for you to support the BBI, you must be given something. Let us not make that kind of imagination, kind of a picture to Kenyans, that for them to support the BBI, they will expect something in terms of a kilo of unga or a kilo of sugar, so that they can pass the document at the referendum. This is a noble process, and Kenyans have given all of their time and resources to read, to present their proposals, and where we are, this is a document that is made by Kenyans and is owned by Kenyans, and members of parliament are not superior than those who put them into those positions they are in today. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Musa. According to the Constitution, Article 257 on role of Parliament to amend referendum bill, one view holds that Parliament may amend the bill to correct typographical errors, to secure that the provisions of the bill do not conflict, and to ensure that the provisions of the bill are in harmony with the unamended provisions of the Constitution. The other view holds that Parliament cannot amend a bill to amend, they cannot amend a bill to amend the Constitution by popular initiative there. So which part of that do you think is very difficult for members of Parliament to understand?
Thank you, Miriam. And just to agree with the sentiments made by Javan in this concept, is that yes, they don't have that amendment role on a popular initiative or something which has been agreed upon at a lower level of the Legislative Assembly, that is the county assemblies, Miriam. But as far as this is concerned, what I know from political perspective is that this is the last trap to pull BBI off. If it is not going to be pulled off, then BBI is going to referendum. That is what we know politically. And from strategic point of view, the only hurdle remaining for this BBI to be pushed and to be available for referendum is the National Assembly. So I think even, the likes of William Ruto, those people with interplays of, politics in this bill are taking this as their last stand, Miriam. This is their last stand before they lose the war. Secondly, the issue of typographical, errors is well understood. Maybe those use of, shall, when, upon, if, I don't understand. I'm not an English literature teacher, but I know those people who are handling such issues are the committees and their research staff, Miriam. Not all members of parliament have that grasp of, having constitutional issues. Even remember in 2010, Miriam, we drafted and we brought forward the COEs, the Committee of Experts, who drafted the Constitution. So in this perspective, I see only the members Justice Legal Affairs Committee who can really know where to put comma, where to harmonize, where to rectify the topographical error. But not all 210 or 349 members of parliament, Miriam. That one, it will take even, it's as if you are telling someone to revise a Bible today and instead of bringing 12 disciples, you are bringing 349. It's not going to be amended forever, Miriam. So I think, let this committee, as Professor Onyari have said, they have been given 10 days. Mm-hmm. Once they are done with their 10 days, let it be not an excuse of further extension, Miriam. Mm-hmm. Let it be this. They harmonize themselves. And what we mean by the word harmony, you make understanding of something or between two people or someone or a community of members in a given timeline without bringing much harm on what already has been perceived. So if indeed they mean harmony, Miriam, let it work within 10 days. because Kenya is really grappling with a lot of stuff here. We are grappling with stagnating economy. We are grappling with conditionalities coming from IMF and Bretton Woods institution, Miriam. We don't know even if indeed, as Professor Herman Manyora have said, we are going to sustain the coming election and all those processes, because we are seeing a lot of electoral issues coming up in the name of by-elections, Miriam. So my humble submission is, if it is 10 days, let it work within 10 days, and then after that, let the people decide. If the bill is going to fail in the hands of the people, let it fail at the ground. If it is going to pass, let it pass at the ground, Miriam. I submit.
All right, thank you so much. And to wrap this up for us, Senator Mugeni said, I want to assure the country that, and promoters of BBI, that there is no intention whatsoever by the two joint committees to scuttle the BBI process, but we want to undertake a process that can stand any constitutional test. Professor, end it for us.
Miriam, we are all human beings. We cannot be 100% correct, and if we happen to be 100%, we become like God. If we write that document, Miriam, we can be 99.9%. There is that element which we cannot make it complete. Miriam, if you go, and I don't know whether you have taken time to read the 2010 Kenyan Constitution. You know, sometimes Miriam, it is having some glaring mistakes. Even the grammar, which is very poor, and you ask Miriam, was this thing written by lawyers? Sometimes we can escape. Like now, if you go to Article 41 of the Kenyan Constitution, Miriam, on reparations, it starts with 1, 2, then 2, it comes to A, B, C, D, then it goes to 3. After 3, Miriam, you don't go to E. You are supposed to start with A, you go to B, and then you proceed. But under 3, Miriam, you start with E, F. Those are the mistakes, and it is there, Miriam. It doesn't change anything, Miriam. And there is nothing you can do for this unless, Miriam, we come to give the Attorney General or the Kenya Royal Commission the permission so that they can edit. Like now, they can move that E to be an A. But it has been there for 10 years now, Miriam. So what we want to do, Miriam, now, don't think the architect of this constitution, Miriam, they were foolish. They knew what they were doing. They knew if you give these people, these guys, an opportunity, Miriam, they will dismantle this document. I wish you listened to the presentation which Samuel gave. It is just like communication, Miriam. I give you a word of mouth, tell Musa this, and Musa tells Chevan, and Chevan tells Samuel, and Chevan tells Douglas, and then the same message is brought back to me. It will not be the same. It will be totally different. So what I want to say that, Miriam, I will still continue to beseech members of parliament. The redemption strategy mounted by the Prime Minister and the President, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, let us not squander it. Miriam, history tells me that what happens to other countries, don't think that this country is so special. It will never be good. It will not. It will not. What has happened to Somalia, and it is very unfortunate. I hope we will find some time to discuss, because I've seen the Minister for Interior going to Dadaab and Kakuma and say that within 2 weeks, they want to close those camps. Yes, because of the security challenges. But Miriam, you don't do that one to a person who has run away because of the fearing of his life. What I'm trying to say, that's not a discussion I'm saying. I'm trying to say that Kenya, we can find ourselves in that line if we do not to avoid the conflict which is staring on us. We might have gotten away with it 2007. We might have gotten away with it 2017. But in the future, don't think that the other children of other countries are the children of a lesser God. When God has given us the opportunity to talk to one another, Miriam, is it necessary that the members of parliament that we can quarrel because of 70 constituencies? And you want this one to be? Does it really make sense, Miriam? And we are quarreling over Ombudsman, Miriam. Does it really make sense? So, Miriam, from where I sit, let them allow this document to proceed forward. And Samuel gave a demonstration like this, Miriam. I'm telling you from where I sit. I am not a lawyer. But I've got this one, the way Dr. Masanga puts. My mind is very clear. When I read an article, I can challenge a lawyer because law is about English. It's only that. There's nothing. It's about grammar and English. There's nothing superior that they have. They don't have an extra brain. So what I'm trying to do, they are only marking time. But that thing will just come to an inch. There's nothing they will do. They have, whether they ask for 10 days, it will come to Parliament. If there are men and women enough, let them vote no. And it will come to us. Let them just go to no side. I know this is how I told you about the snake with the 2 heads. It can go to either direction. And this is how Tanga is behaving. You knock it here, it starts going this way. You knock here, it's going that way. So they have manifested their way. Look at the Chungwa, saying that it is not an emergency. We can even give them 6 months, Miriam. Can you understand that? And this is, at least I saw Duare was a little bit reasonable in this debate. But you see, this is, they are taking around and round, and when we strike August with no referendum, then we are done. We are done, Miriam.
All right.
So I hope by next Thursday, they will do the honorable thing. They will be introduced in the floor of the House. We will have a discussion. They will vote whichever way they want to vote. There we proceed. They will not amend it. Thank you so much. I submit, Miriam.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Jared Onyari. Thank you, Jevan Karanja. Thank you, Douglas Kirimi, Musa Abdi, and Samuel Tawish. There is an opinion piece here that has been written on the Star newspaper, page 5, by Maoka Maore, and I think it was quoted from his submission yesterday in Parliament. I'll just read a bit of it. We're worried as a house. We are worried as a House, the high-powered Joint Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of the Senate and the National Assembly did not understand the mandate we gave and their terms of reference. The terms of reference show the committee was to table a report today. That was yesterday. The 2 committees finished conducting public participation last Thursday and were expected to table their report. The committee has no business coming to amend or propose fresh terms of reference where they are giving themselves a sweeping power which they do not have. As per Article 257 of the Constitution, when you're going to direct to the people, the House only plays a ceremonial role. An amendment to the Constitution was proposed by a popular initiative and signed by at least 1 million registered voters. You cannot expand the mandate of the Joint Committee to include the things the chairman of the committee is talking about. Some of the proposals that they were giving, that there were referendum issues, litigation, public participation, and constitution and governance issues. He actually called them extensive issues. Now that the chairman of the committee did not have the opportunity to amend what he was requesting, he just wanted an extension of the period within which they should have submitted their report. He's asking for an indefinite period, which the House may not be willing to give because we do not want to open that kind of gate. So that, I think, was Maoka Maore yesterday during his submission, and it has been quoted there as an opinion piece on the Star newspaper, page 5. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the People's Court. My name is Miriam Ogutu. Good afternoon. Thank you so much. Tutaongelea maneno ya Somalia saa 9. Kama uko na time kama
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.